Hey, it's your girl Autumn, and we are back for another edition of As a Fan of College Football, where I cover college football related content through the eyes of a fan. And we had clearly the Buckeyes had a ball in the shoe, defeating Minnesota 42-3. I mean, we did what the number one team in the country is supposed to do. I mean, we did what needed to be done. Am I right or no? Anywho, before we really jump into it, I must ask you to like the video. Please hit the subscribe. Please share the video and make sure that you hit the notification bell so that whenever I'm in these YouTube streets, you will be the first to know. All right, Buckeyes, how we feeling? How we feeling? Are we feeling a little bit more satisfied with how Ryan Day and Brian Hartline are using Julian Sayin? Because that's always the talk, right? We're always talking about we want to see more from Julian Sayin. You know, he opened they opened him up a little bit, but I want to know from y'all if it was enough. The Gophers were hosted by the Buckeyes in the shoe for another Big Ten matchup. And although they scored the first points in a field goal, baby, that's all that happened on their side of the ball. That was it. It's not a whole lot to talk about when it comes to Minnesota. But again, the story here is Julian Sayin, right? We first would like everybody to put some respect on Julian's name. Why do I have to say this every week? Why do I have to say this every week? I need some respect to be put on Julian Sayin's name. I need some respect to be put on this defense that still has not allowed a red zone touchdown. I, I just it's a whole lot. And what I've realized over the past couple of weeks, or actually over the past several weeks in covering these games, is people really hate Ohio State. They call us bullies, all types of stuff. But I think folks just gonna have to get over it at this point. I mean, it is what it is. And, the Buckeyes probably won't always be on top. And, that's just the name of the game. But right now we are. And I would just really like for people to respect that. You know what I'm saying? Like, knock it off. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, Julian Sayin. Let's talk about Julian. So he was 23 of 27 for 326 yards, 3 touchdowns, which makes this the third 300 plus yard passing game for him. Respected. 4 of these passes were at least 31 yards. So that is one thing that everybody has been saying. Why he can't throw downfield? Why they don't let him throw downfield? Why they, why is he, why he doing all these little passes, just, these little screen passes? Why is he not being opened up? So this time he was able to prove himself. And I know what everybody's gonna say. Oh, that was against Minnesota. I don't care who it was against. I don't care if it was against a damn high school team. You guys were able to see that he's capable of doing this. So there's really I don't really want to hear it. There's nothing else to be said about it. Staying connected with Bo Jackson, who carried the ball 13 times, 63 yards, 1 touchdown. Carnell Tate, who caught the ball 9 times for 183, yards, 1 touchdown. And of course, Jeremiah Smith, 7 catches, 67 yards for 2 tutties. You understand what I'm saying? Like, what are we doing here? We're talking about the number 1 team in the country. I don't want to hear it. We're talking about the number 1 team in the country. And then on the number 1 team in the country, we have the number 1 defense in the country that is spearheaded by who I now call Matty Patty. So if I hear anybody else calling him that, they got it from me, because I ain't heard nobody else call him that. I'm calling him Matty Patty. This defense, once again, did not allow for a red zone touchdown. And you know what I'm saying? I just think we played really well rounded this week. It was a good game to watch. It was good to see them trusting Julian a little bit more to throw downfield, feeling, I won't say trusting him, I would say feeling comfortable with him throwing downfield. And we're going to have to keep that up. We have some games ahead of us, and I know people feel like we have such a cupcake schedule. I mean, it is what it is. But you know what I'm saying? We have some decent games coming up. We're going out to Illinois to play the Illini for the Illabuck battle. We need to bring that trophy on home. You know what I'm saying? We ain't had that trophy in a while because we haven't played them in a while. But we need to go ahead and bring that home. And I think that's going to be a very good game. As far as Minnesota goes, Drake Lindsey acknowledged, he's the quarterback there. He acknowledged in the presser how they moved downfield, and Matt Patricia pretty much picked them apart. So on that first drive when they moved downfield and they kicked the field goal, I think that's what he was referencing. And again, it's amazing how these defensive coordinators can see that. You know what I'm saying? It's amazing how they can just like watch one trip down the field and be like, all right, we know exactly what we need to do. We know exactly how we need to cover these guys, and we're going to go out here and win this game. Lindsey was 15 of 26 for 94 yards. Minnesota will go on to host Purdue. So I think Minnesota and Purdue will be a good game. That's another Big Ten matchup. I think it'll be an interesting game. And like I said, Ohio State will travel to number 17, Illinois, for the Illabuck battle. So what I want to know from you, from Buckeye fans and Buckeye people who are not Buckeye fans, I want to know, was this enough for, are you satisfied with what they've done with Julian Sayin in this game? Are you satisfied with what they did for Julian Sayin in this game? He had a lot more passes downfield. We already know Julian is really quick to throw the ball. Like the release is really fast. He's able to read. He's able to read the defense really well. We're playing really good. We're playing really good ball, and I just want people to respect that. So until you hear me or see me again, peace.